So recently I was playing on a new single-player world, and I came across a very nice 5x7 spider spawner dungeon that was very close to the surface of a beach, so I really had to trap it because they gave me a bucket, it was surrounded by water, I had sand above me, I already had cacti with me, so it was really impossible for me to, by law, for me to leave that dungeon without trapping it. And so I figured I would just give a quick rundown of how I did that in case someone else wanted to do the same thing. So I just have a 5x7 spider spawner dungeon that I cloned from elsewhere. It was just a zombie dungeon that I changed the spawner to just for the purposes of this video. And I've moved it up to, normally you would dig down to, just to make sure no spiders get stuck on their own spawn or anything. It shouldn't really be a problem since they climb, but just to make sure to keep everything flowing nicely, it's best to just dig down to and let the spiders flow underneath the spawner itself. And I put a door in the back for maintenance. I would advise putting them on the sides as well. And it's going to be a bit bright once I get holes dug into the sides because it's open to the air since I have it just floating out in here, but it still should be dark enough in here to spawn spiders. And so basically it's just a 5x7 spider spawner dungeon, and in the very back end what we're going to do here is just dig out a row from the back, one above, like that, and then we're going to put in our cacti like so. Just putting them right in the middle so that we only need 2 cacti, and then plop them down, and then dig down 2 spaces. Right. And then 1 in the center, so that you have 2 on each side, 2 up. And then dig your channel, which will act as a collection zone for the string. And of course later on you're going to want to block this off just in case something else spawns around the dungeon. Not sure if that's actually possible, but it is most likely possible. So afterward we have exactly what we need to bring the spiders and kill them here, but the water is going to be a bit of a problem because it has a bit of issues with the way items fall in. So let's take a look at what it does as is. If we put our water down in the corners, you see we do have a nice flow, and it all is flowing in and down, but the problem is if we drop anything into this area here, such as this, we can see that it's, you may not be able to see actually, but I can see that it is stuck in that corner, just sitting there, and not actually flowing downward. So in order to prevent that, all we actually need is to put a sign in this corner, here, here, and here. And then that'll prevent any water from flowing down on its own accord, and then underneath the signs we can put our own water. So we just drop 1 in each corner down here, and then as you see the cobblestone was picked up and is flowing down to our collection zone. So anything that comes down in here and lands in this water will just flow down into the next channels and continue onward. And there's a lot less chance, as far as I've seen, that string will be destroyed on cacti as opposed to lava, and so I prefer it for killing spiders anyway. And that's pretty much it for the trap itself, so we can turn off the peaceful setting, kill the light, and come out the other side here to see if we can get some spider killing. Arachnicide, perhaps? That's an appropriate word, arachnicide. And as you see, the spiders just jump up and kill themselves on the cacti that we have. And then if they do drop string, it flows down into our collection zone. So I've found that this is pretty efficient, and especially considering we're dealing with string, since you only need it for a bow and a fishing rod, and a fishing rod isn't very important anyway, and a bow doesn't require remaking, so it's about as efficient as you really need it to ever be. So if you have questions, I'll answer them. See you next time.